So welcome to another review session on the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. So I'll just do a bit of intro. Someone will be reviewing the book for us today. Her name is Sophia Layole. Sorry. So she'll be reviewing the book with us. Part 2 of the book. So I'll just hand over to her to do a review of the part 2 of the book. Then after which would take comments from everyone. Thank you. So hi Sophia, are you here? You can on your camera and unmute so that we can see you and you. Hi, you're muted though.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Apologies if I didn't pronounce your name properly. Sorry.
Yeah, my name is Sophia Layole.
Thank you. So I'll just hand over to you now to take us on the review of part 2 of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Once again, my name is Sophia Layole, and I'll be doing the review of this second part of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So, the second part is talking about 6 ways to make people like you. So, it has 6 chapters, and I'll be taking it one by one. So, the first one is the first chapter, which has the first way to make people like you, is titled Do This and You'll Be Welcome Everywhere. So I'll basically be picking like the major points from each of the chapters and just explain the things I understood from it. So the first thing is you can make more friends in 2 months by getting interested in them than you can in 2 years and making people interested in you. So the author of this book talked about narrated different stories and illustrated different ways people have gained influence and also made friends with people by being genuinely interested in them. He quoted that you can make more friends in 2 months by getting interested in people than 2 years, than friends you can make in 2 years by making people interested in you, which means that when you meet people for the first time, you try to be interested in them, talk about things that they enjoy doing, things that they do, things like have conversations that they enjoy more than the things that you enjoy. That is one way to make people genuinely interested in you. Then another one is one and that point is people are more interested in themselves than they are in you. People are more interested in themselves. Like when someone has a boil on her neck, for example, she's more interested in it than friends with someone, or you also want to have influence over someone or people, the first thing to do is be genuinely interested in them, have conversations with them about things that they enjoy doing so much. Then another point is whether we're in low positions or high positions, everyone loves to be admired. So, admiring people would make it very easy to make friends with them. Like, it is one easy way to make people like the person will automatically smile at you, and after the smile you can also have conversations with them about how something they've done, about how you've read that they did something amazing. When you do things like that, they get them only. So while being interested in people, make sure that it is not for the sake that you want to get something out, need someone's help. Like it does not have to be every time. Yes, sometimes you do things because you need help. For example, you're meeting someone for the first time and you want to get something from them. The best way to get to them, or like to even get to talk to them, is by being interested in them. But we should not make it something that happens every time. We should um be sincerely interested in people. We should not make it insincere or fake or something. And lastly, under the first chapter, if you want to make other people like you and you want to find friendship, you should keep this principle in mind, that become genuinely interested in other people. It is one of the 6 ways to make people like you. When you meet people for the first time, or like even every time we meet people, always try to be genuinely interested in them. Talk to them about themselves. People appreciate it. Like we all appreciate it, whether we are in highly positions or low positions. There was a research that was narrated in the story by a telephone company, that the number of I that was used um in a particular time in 500 telephone conversations, that I was used 3,900 times. Imagine 500 conversations and I was used 3,900 times. If this is not a proof that people are genuinely interested in themselves than any other thing, then I don't know what it is. So, point number one is be genuinely interested in other people. Become genuinely interested in other people. So I would move to, there are several illustrations in the book, actually, like many stories, and we don't have the luxury of time to go over every one of it. So I'll just like cite some examples. So the point number two, the second chapter, the title is A Simple Way to Make a Good Impression. So I would also talk about the points in this chapter. The effects of a smile is powerful even when unseen. So when we are making phone calls with people, try to genuinely smile. The principle number two in this chapter is that you should smile. Smile is a very simple action, but it goes a very long way. You can smile at someone on a Monday morning and make their day. You can just see someone in your street and say, "Good morning, Miss Esther," or "Good morning, Mr. Lawal," or anything. And they become genuinely interested in you because you smiled at them. So people rarely succeed at anything unless they have fun doing it. So when people do something, that's according to observation of the chairman of board of directors of one of the largest company in the US. He made an observation that people enjoy, like people last longer doing something when they enjoy it. That is, when people smile while doing something, right? Like when they have fun doing something, they genuinely enjoy it and they last longer doing it. They do better at it. Then another thing is that another way to make people like you is stopping criticism and appreciating people more. And while you do that with a smile. It is like a genuine smile. It is one way to make people like you very well. Then another point is the thought of something is supreme. So we should always preserve a right mental attitude. That is, when you're making phone calls, when you smile while talking to someone on the phone, it is always evident. It always reflects in your conversations with the person. So the thought of something is supreme. So always preserve a right mental attitude. So I'll move to the next chapter, and it's titled, "If you don't do this, you are headed for trouble." So if you don't do what? So the lesson from this chapter is that remembering a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. So one key way to get into people's hearts very easily and how to make friends with them is remembering their names all the time. That is, knowing their names. Even personally, as a person, when I meet someone for the first time and I tell someone my name and the person pronounce my name correctly, I grow a soft spot for the person. That is like an evidence, like a practical evidence, that remembering people's name and honoring people's name is very important. It is one way to also get their attention, and also sometimes get the things that you need to get from them is one way to have influence over people. Then to the next principle, the chapter is an easy way to become a good conversationalist. So from this chapter, I learned that when someone says you're a good conversationalist, it means that you are a good listener, not necessarily that you are that you have good conversations with the person. It means that you listen very well. The few human beings are proof against the implied flattery of rapt attention. That is a saying by Jack Woodford. And also, listening to people make people feel very important. The people feel very happy when you listen to them. Most people always want to have a feeling of, I always want to feel important, and one way to make people feel important is by listening to them. So another principle to making people, and like on how to make people become friends with you, and also how to get influence over people, is being a good listener. When you listen to people, they feel relaxed and they feel more important, and they genuinely want to have things to do with you because they know you are not here to listen to just yourself. And to the next chapter, how to interest people easily. So the simple principle in this chapter is talk in terms of other people's interests. When you're talking to people, when you're meeting people for the first time, talk in their interest. When you meet a footballer, talk about football with him, even if you don't necessarily enjoy football. When you meet him, talk to him about football, you would get his attention, you would like easily interest him, and that way you'll be able to either make friends with him or have influence, and also get the things that you need to get from him. Then the next chapter is how to make people like you instantly. So the principle from this one is make other people feel important and do it sincerely. So the other chapter will talk about listening to people. That listening to people makes people feel people feel interested in what you need to say or what you have to say. So talk to people about themselves and they would listen for hours. That is one way to get people to listen to you, to have people's attention and make friends with them, get influence to influence people. Then I think I skipped, yeah, I did not skip any. That's the last principle. Make other people feel important and do it sincerely. So I will go over the six principles again. Number one is become genuinely interested in other people. Then number two is smile. That simple act of smiling to people can go a long way in making friends with them, and also getting their interest and also getting to influence them. Then the third principle is remembering a person's name, because that is the most important thing, important sound to people. Then fourthly is be a good listener. Encourage people to talk about themselves more than you talk about yourself. Then the fifth one is talk in terms of other people's interests. It's makes people feel very important. And lastly, make other people important, make other persons feel important, and do that sincerely. So those are the six principles to make people like you genuinely, like become friends with people. Thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Thank you so much, Sophia. I mean, I think you said it all. Sophia just took us through. So for people that are just joining us, she just did a review of part 2, which is 6 ways to make people like you. If you want to add, if you want to comment, please go ahead to raise your hand and you'll be unmuted. So, I mean, the 6 things that she mentioned, one of it has to do with being a good listener. I mean, people want to be heard. People want to listen, want people to listen to them while they speak. Make the other person feel important. I mean, that is very, very, people want to feel important. When you make them feel important, they are happy. She also mentioned the fact that people want, talk about what people like. When you meet people, I mean, talk about the things they like. That way you'll be able to have, I mean, start a good conversation with them, because people be interested more in what they want to hear first before you can, go ahead to talk about what you want to say. Also, she also mentioned the power of, putting a smile on your face while on your, whether you're having a phone call or having a conversation with someone while you are doing your work. She also mentioned about stopping criticism and appreciate people. People want to be appreciated. So it's important that, you don't criticize people, you appreciate them. Then she also mentioned the fact, she also spoke about another principle that speaks to show of interest, show interest in people. When you show interest in people, it must be sincere. That again is very, 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 very important. I don't know if we have any hands up in the chat or any comments, anyone that wants to add to what Sophia has said. Sophia, thank you so much for reviewing part 2 of 6 ways to make people like you. So I'll just check if we have any hands up right now.
No hand for now, but thank you so much, Ufoma, and thank you so much. So, okay, I have Sharif Akon. Let me give him the floor. Sharif, go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Sharif. We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Oh, I'm very happy to join this wonderful group. Today I just saw it, and I feel like, oh, this is one of the groups that I would like to mingle with. Based on the 6 principles that my beloved sister has actually given us, I just want to share an experience regarding one of the principles, which is always put up a smile. Is very, very important. And genuinely, I would say, always put smile is one of the key to win people's attention and even to win contracts. I found myself in a place that ordinary smile has actually given me a way to win people's attention. And that is very, very key. So one question I want to ask the speaker is the word genuinely, because it's actually a relative word. If you said genuinely, how can we actually evaluate the word genuinely? What effect and impact will it have on the other people? I don't know if she can share more light about that. Thank you.
Sophia, you can go ahead.
Okay, so if I got the question correctly, you want me to explain how you can smile genuinely and impact people with that. So from what I learned from the book, smiling genuinely sometimes might not be very easy, but it was said that when you are on your own, try to smile to yourself, try to do something fun, and just like it takes practice. You need to be intentional about it, like intentionally try to smile at people. You like, even when people are not, they just try to smile, then before you know it, it becomes genuine. That's what I can say.
All right. Thank you, Sophia. I think I should just add a few words on genuine or genuineness. So one of the things is, as you read this book, you see Dale constantly talking about being genuine about what you do. And the meaning is that you must be original about it. You must be deliberate and intentional, like Sophia said. So, for example, a practical example is somebody is not feeling too well, right? And you're asking the person that, how are you? But when you're asking for the how are you, the real question about the how are you is not that you are genuinely interested in the person's well-being. You're only asking that, can I give you a job? Right? And your body language will give you a way in having that conversation with people. So if I see someone and say, good morning, sir, and I'm smiling, if that smile, the way we say it in our local parlance, if the smile is not coming from your heart, the kind of face you put up will also show that you are truly not smiling, you are just forcing it. So Dale and most of the authors will tell us that when you want to really relate with people, God has given every human being the ability to discern body language and interpret it. And most of the time, they tell us that body language carries more weight as to what we say. For example, I'm meeting someone saying, how are you? And I'm frowning my face. Or how are you? I'm just rolling my eyes, right? My body language can actually express something not really genuine about what I'm uttering. So what Dale Carnegie is saying here is every single thing you want to do, let it come from your heart, right? Be deliberate about it and truly, truly show concern as against just trying to manipulate people. Because if you are not genuine, you become manipulative. So that is the point I just want to emphasize. So the idea is anything you want to do, you want to really make people your friend, don't make them your friend because you want to exploit them or you want to manipulate them. You are making them your friend or you are making effort so that you are their friend because you truly want to be their friend and show genuine concern about them, right? So that is what Dale is saying. Thank you so much, Sheriff Dean, and thank you, Sophia. So Ufum, over to you. I think I can see Taiwa Kinladi. Let me unmute her.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. We
Can I
can hear
go
you.
on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, just a brief one to add to what you just said now. From my experience, I noticed that smiling comes within you, like you said, but there's one critical thing to add to it is that you have to be happy inside you to be able to bring out that smile in you. You can't give what you don't have. When you have peace within you, so it's something for most of us to try and have that peace in us. It comes in naturally, as in when you decide to have peace. Okay, fine. Well, everything it's okay, fine. So I was able to understand that so many years ago, where I had to adopt that thing. It's okay, it's fine, it's okay, it's fine, and you develop that peace within you and it comes out naturally. Once you see somebody, it's okay, it's fine, and that smile just comes out easily. So we have to have that thing in us, like you said, it has to come from your heart, because what is in your heart, that's what reads on your face. And once that comes out, you find out that you are just at peace, and naturally you flow in anywhere you find yourself. Immediately you enter a place, since you're at peace, you just say, hello, good morning, and you flow in naturally. So it's something most of us, we need to develop that thing in us. We don't have to carry up all our burden on ourselves. We have to be able to have that peace and to be able to express that peace. And from there, the smile comes out naturally. Thank you.
Thank you, Foma. Over to you. Are you there? Foma, you can go on.
Okay. Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Kazim. Yeah, I'm able to. Okay. I don't think I can. Okay, I can see Ogenekere's hands up. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Ogenekere, you can go ahead to unmute your mic. Okay, I think we should take Evelyn. We have less than 3 minutes to go. Okay, Ogenekere are you able to
Yes,
talk?
good evening.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening, everybody. I just want to contribute and maybe share a personal story to this discussion, because it holds very true, even in our personal relationships. And I just want to share an experience. Yeah. So for a couple of weeks, my husband has been deeply engrossed in a new project at the office. And when we speak on the phone, he would relate, his work and all of that. But I don't know. Unfortunately, I was preoccupied with my own task and I wasn't really, following through with the discussions or with the conversation. And it didn't dawn on me until earlier today when we were discussing and he was asking questions about his work, the project that he was currently handling, and I didn't have the answers, and I just noticed how it made him feel very, very hot that I wasn't paying attention to the things that matter to him. So it's not something far-fetched. It's something that plays out in our everyday lives, in our family life, in our work life. People want other people to be interested in them genuinely. People are happy when you give them that attention. So I just thought to share that experience. Maybe it can help somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
again,
you.
Akewe. So, so Solomon on this call, but no problem. Let's go to Evelyn. Evelyn, you can go ahead and unmute your mic. Thank you so much, Madam Kara. Evelyn.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I would love to share a particular part of this book that struck me. The part that says everybody in the world is seeking happiness, and there's one way to sure find it by controlling our thoughts. That really resonated well with me, and I saw the fact that nothing is actually good or bad. It's only the meaning we give to it that makes it good or bad. And I believe that could actually put us in the right place to smile, because when you're happy, smile comes as a result of being happy. So I believe even in the chaos we find ourselves in our daily life, especially in this country, controlling your thoughts and always being intentional about perceiving things as good will actually help us maintain a healthy state. And this will help us smile. It will help us keep a smile on our face always and keep us interested in others. I think for me, that's the part I really love about the book we reviewed this week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. Thank you so much, everyone that's spoken. Thank you so much, Ogenekewe. And thank you. I think it's about 8 o'clock now.
No, sorry.
so-
Let's take the last person and then we'll wrap up. There's one Samsung. The person has 1 minute and then we can close. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, please go ahead.
Hello, I also learned that you need to memorize people's birthdays and people's names so they can feel happy. It also happened to me once. I don't really know one of my friends' names fully. My friend felt sad when we met later after some time. We actually shared the same name, not knowing she felt sad. After that time, I realized that I need to learn all my friends' names. I keep friends' names important, their birthdays, days that are important to them. I also ask them more information about themselves so that they can feel like they belong.
Thank you. Let's close.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's session on part 2. So I think, it's 8 o'clock now. So we'll just want, first of all, to appreciate our reviewer, Sophia, for taking us on part 2, the 6 ways to make people like you. And I'm sure we've all learned, 1 or 2 things today, if nothing at all, but the importance or the power of putting a smile goes a long way. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening. See you next week, Saturday, same time, 7:30. And we'll be talking on part 3 of the book. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you
Bye,
so
everyone.
much, Ifoma. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.